And we're going to talk about how to get a first time home buyer grant in the Philadelphia region. Okay. So, in this, I hope people come on. I hope you guys ask questions. I hope this is very interactive where we can talk about if you're a first time home buyer, you can get a large sum of money to help and possibly not have to pay it back. All right. So, what we're going to look into is we're going to look into some programs that actually do that. Okay. I'm going to take this from an article. Okay, there's an article from Cynthia Greer that had came out maybe about 5 or 6 months ago, and she did a real good job of kind of summarizing the different grants out there. Okay, so it says if you're looking into buying a home for the first time, you may be asking yourself, where do I even start? All right, so there's a dilemma for first time home buyers. And luckily, there are housing agencies that specialize in helping you through the process and offer financial assistance to help you close a sale on your potential home. Now, here's the thing is the government wants you to buy a home. Why? The government wants you to buy a home because people who own their home make better neighbors than people who are renters. All right. And I think everybody knows that. You can really tell a place that's a that where there's renters that live in versus there being homeowners. Okay. So before you even start looking to buy a home, check to see if there are local first time home buying programs available. Now, these grants are provided by the federal government and they're administered through local agencies to help you cover the closing costs and down payment. Because when you're buying a home, there's two costs, okay? There's the down payment and there's the closing costs. Now, there's also soft costs. Soft costs aren't in the down payment, and they're not in the closing costs. They're soft costs. Soft costs is going to include um, the inspections. Also going to include the appraisals. Also, okay, those are soft costs. So if you're a first-time home buyer, you can get a large sum of money to help and possibly not have to pay it back. All right. I've had people who have gotten checks back. When they came to closing, they actually got checks back. All right. So, who's eligible? Okay. You may qualify for grants if you are low to moderate income and are a first time home buyer or have not owned a home in the area within 3 years. Okay. Now, how do first time home buyer programs or grants work? A first time home buyer grant is money that a housing agency pays towards a down payment and closing costs on your new home. Technically, first time home buyer grants are zero interest loans that in most cases can either be 100% forgiven or repaid when the home is sold and transferred to a new owner. Okay. So most of these, they call them grants, but what the and if you guys have any questions, just jump in with the questions, okay? Jump in with the questions and I'll answer the questions on these first time home buyer grants. All right. But most of these grants and most of these programs, what they are is they're 0% interest loans. Some have to be paid back and some don't have to be paid back. And that's what we're going to go over, which ones don't have to be paid back, okay? And if you're on TikTok, if you could just tap the screen for me, tap the screen a couple times so they can send this out to other people. Okay, so each first time homebuyer program has different eligibility criterias and income requirements, and you have to apply for these grants before you start the process of purchasing a home or signing any paperwork. And this is very important. This is super duper important. These grants, you really need to have these grants in place before you go start seeing homes, because most of them you need to complete the program before you actually put a house under contract. Okay, that's super important. That's super duper important. All right. So Also, if you have to leave this soon, if you go to www.mekhalid.com, you can go on there and schedule a virtual appointment with me so we can find out what grants you qualify for. Okay, because the grants are going to be all over the place. So let's go. So as for going through the process, make copies of all your documents to keep on file. First time homebuyer programs require you to attend housing counseling and get a mortgage. And you will have to refer back to the paperwork throughout the process. So, what paperwork do they usually want? They usually all want the same paperwork. They all usually want 2 years of tax returns. They all usually want your W 2s. They also all want two bank statements. And they're also going to want pay stubs. Okay. They're also going to want pay stubs. So make copies of all this. All right. Make copies of all this and put it in some type of digital folder so that every time they ask you, you can just give it out to them. Okay. So we're going to talk about Pennsylvania because I'm in Pennsylvania. All right. I don't know why I got this one. I'm a Philadelphia specialist, Philly uh, agent, real estate agent specialist. So I specialize in Philadelphia. Okay. But we're going to talk about Pennsylvania first time home buying programs. All right. So in Pennsylvania, there are many first time home buyer program assistance. Some are offered by the federal government, some are offered by the state government, some are offered by local governments. All right. So in the Philadelphia region where I'm at, um, your your county has a first-time homebuyer program administered through local nonprofits and government housing agencies. Here's the thing about money is that the money isn't continually flowing, okay? They have a set amount, and then once that's up, it's up, okay? Once that's up, it's up. So that's why it's important to jump on these, okay? That's why it's super important to jump on these programs, okay? Again, and if you're looking to buy a home, if you're looking to see which programs you qualify for, again, go to www.meetkhalid.com and schedule a virtual appointment with me. Okay. So let's talk about Pennsylvania's state program. So if this is a state program, this means what? This means that you can use this program anywhere in the state of Pennsylvania. Okay. So this is KFIT. It stands for Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency, which is PHFA's Keystone Forgivable 10-year program, again, which is called KFIT. So this loan provides a 0% interest loan towards your down payment and closing costs on your home that will be 100% forgiven if you live in the house for 10 years. So if you live in a house for 10 years, there or the home doesn't go out of your name for 10 years, that loan that they give you is going to be forgivable. Now listen, this is what I need you guys to do. If you're on TikTok, I need you to tap the screen, give me some likes. I don't have no likes up here, man. No likes. Okay. So tap the screen and give me some likes so that TikTok knows to send this out to other people. So, this Pennsylvania statewide first time home buyer grant, how much is it? Okay, this K-Fit, it's up to $10,000. Okay, it's up to $10,000, and since this is a statewide program, income varies. So, what would happen is that in order to apply, you would contact the PHFA participating mortgage lender, and that's most lenders. Most lenders participate with it, but not all. Okay, not all. So you definitely want to make sure that whichever lender you're using that they participate with this. Here's the thing about this program that they're not saying, and which is kind of funny. What they're not saying is that the state makes you, they give you a certain interest rate, which is a lot of times higher than what the going interest rate is. So if the going interest rate is, for example, six, then if you do the K fit, then it's going to raise it up. Okay. It's going to raise it up to maybe 6.2 or 6.3. That's something that they don't tell you. All right. But it still helps. Next, we have the Philly First program. Okay. So the Philly First home is run by the Philadelphia Housing Development Corporation. And this program provides a 0% interest loan towards your down payment and closing costs that is forgivable if you live in a house for 15 years. So where the K fit was 10 years, the Philly First, the home can't go out of your name for 15 years. Okay. And it's up to $10,000 or 6% of the purchase price, whichever is lower. Okay. So they're only going to give you up to $10,000. And I say only like somebody's giving you 10,000 dollars every day. Okay. Um, as far as the eligibility, I think this eligibility is a little bit old, so let me actually go to the actual flyer. So for eligibility, if you solo, if you dolo, okay, um, it's up to $73,800. So just under $74,000. So you can't make $75,000. Okay. You cannot make $75,000 to get this Philly First loan. If it's two people, you can't make $85,000. All right. If it's four people, you can't make over $105,000. All right. So if you're making six figures, it gotta be four people or more in your household to take advantage of the Philadelphia First. All right. So again, if you do want to find out if you're starting your sorry about that, if you're starting your home journey and you're kind of looking into it, maybe you're renting now, what you want to do is go to www.meetkhalid.com and you want to set up a virtual appointment with me free of charge so we can kind of see what your situation is and how we can move you forward a into actually getting a loan. Okay. So how do you apply? So to apply for the Philly First, you have to go to a housing counselor or a housing counselor agency. Once you go there and contact me, if you want to DM me, the meetkhaled.com is my digital business card. So if you there's ton of agencies, housing agencies throughout the city. So I'll send you this flyer and you can call them up. I usually use Urban League. Like if people don't have a preference, I usually tell them to go to Urban League. But the way it's set up is that you're gonna go to an orientation. All right. So you're gonna go to an orientation for like 2 or 3 hours. They're gonna teach you about purchasing a house within your budget, also avoiding dangerous mortgages. They're gonna talk about your rights and responsibilities of a homeowner, your mortgage application process and your purchase process, also improving your credit and credit repair and credit maintenance. They're going to talk about money management. They're going to talk about home maintenance. They're going to talk about avoiding foreclosure. They're going to talk about the deeds and other legal housing documents. So that's what they're going to do during that orientation. So once you do that orientation, then you're going to go to a one-on-one with the actual housing counselor. Now, if all your financial stuff is straight, then what's going to happen is that they'll give you the certificate. Once they give you the certificate, then you can go on your merry way and start to find homes. But do not go find homes or do not go see homes before you get that certificate if you want to use that particular program, okay? Because they won't give it to you. The next is Bucks County. So if you're in Bucks County, which is in the Northeast, okay, you can get a 0% loan for closing or down payment, and it has to be repaid once the home is sold. So Bucks County, Bucks County, a little petty, okay? They're a little bit petty with it because they want you to pay the loan back. So the loan needs to be paid back once it's sold. You get up to $10,000, all right, and the eligibility is sort of like the Philly First. I won't go into it. Next, we have Chester County. Chester County, the Housing Partnership of Chester County runs a program that provides a 0% loan towards the down payment and closing costs on your home that has to be repaid once you sell the home. So again, Chester County's being cruddy too. They being petty too. They gonna lend you the money, which is up to $5,000, but once you sell the home, you gotta give it back. All right. So You have to have at least 1,000 yourself to put towards the purchase of a home, and the application fee is $30. So they have eligibility requirements also. Next, you have Delaware County. Delaware County has Chester County Improvement Project, CCPI, which is a program that provides you a 0% interest loan towards the down payment and closing costs of your home that is 100% forgivable after 5 years. Okay, so Delaware County, they only giving you $5,000. Okay, they only give you $5,000, but it's forgivable after 5 years, and you got to have at least $1,000 of your own money. And there's income requirements with those also. Next, you have Montgomery County. Now that's where the money is. So let's see what they got. Montgomery County program provides a 0% loan towards a down payment or closing costs on a home that has to be repaid once the home is sold. Man, these counties, they ain't playing, right? The county is not playing. So their application fee is $25, and the program is run by the local government office of housing and community development. So they'll give you up to $10,000. Okay, they'll give you up to $10,000, and there's eligibility requirements with that also. Jersey, Jersey also has a first time home buying program. I won't go through all of Jersey's first time buying program. Now, here's the thing: is that there are other programs with like different banks have different first buying programs. Okay. For example, Bank of America has a program where they're going to give you up to $17,500. But here's the caveat is one program goes to closing costs and the other program goes to down payment. Okay. So they'll give you $75,000 that will go towards closing costs. The other grant, which is up to $10,000, goes to down payment assistance. Okay. And that can't be stacked. That can't be stacked, for example, with the Philly First. Some of this stuff can be stacked, some of it can't. Okay. Then we have, for example, I have another mortgage company called Movement Mortgage. They have an $8,000 um, grant that can be stacked with the Philly First. So if you was to get the Philly First, you can get the Philly First for up to 10,000, and then you can get that $8,000 and stack it on top of that. Okay, but the caveat about their grant is that you have to have a certain credit score. Okay, but the thing also, the good thing about the grant is there's no income limit. Now there's an income limit for the Philly First, but there's no income limit for their grant. Okay, then you have other banks like WSFS, where they have a $10,000 community grant that you can stack on top of the Philadelphia First, making it $20,000. So you can get $20,000 towards your down payment. The caveat about their grant is that it has to be in an area where the track is minority. And how do you know? Through the census. So it has to be 50% or more minority. And there's a link that they give you where you can put the home in, and it will tell you what it says on the census track. All right, let's see what else I got. There's also the first front door. The first front door is closed right now, but it's coming back. It'll be back probably here in the spring, and that's $5,000. And if I remember correctly, you could stack that on with the Philly First. So here's the thing about stacking is that when you have a lien against a property, liens have positions. So the state always has the first position. Then the mortgage has the second position. Now we're bidding up for the third and fourth position. So in order for them to stack, they have to get behind Philadelphia because Philadelphia's first is going to be third in line. Okay, so that's the reason for the stacking. So again, all of these grants, I'm also licensed in New Jersey. So for these grants, if you do want to kind of see, okay, where do I fall or what's available to me, I definitely encourage you to go to www meetkhalid.com. And again, schedule a one-on-one with me so we can see what you qualify for. Because these homes are not going to be around for a long time, but also this money is not going to be around for a long time either. Okay. So let's get out there. Let's see what you qualify for and let's run. Because if you wait, then what may happen is they could shut it down. I've seen it plenty of times. Oh, well, oh, let me wait. And they wait and then it gets shut down. And now they don't have any funds. Okay. So it's Khalid Nathan Aleem, the real estate boy. If you're looking to buy a home, sell a home, or invest in real estate, I got you.